Um, First, I'm going to be showing you how I mix my paint with just paint and water, the colors I'll be using, and my setup and the steps I take to complete the process. So stick with me, stay tuned, and here we go. So the colors I'll be using today are Atlantis, Calypso Sky, Bright Blue, Dark Blue, Ultramarine Blue, Cobalt Blue, Caribbean. Then I'll be mixing pure gold and antique gold together. I'll be using white and black. Okay, so first I'm going to be mixing the ultramarine blue and the cobalt blue. I would say the rough estimate of my ratios are like 2 to 1. 2 being the paint and 1 being the water. You just want to make sure that the paint is thick enough to create structure and loose enough to actually flow on the canvas. So here you'll see me mixing the ultramarine blue and cobalt hue together. And then I'll be adding a little bit of water. You want to add little water at a time to make sure you don't make it too liquidy. Because if it's too liquidy, then once you pour the paint with other paints, it'll mix together and just blend and create this cloudy look. So you want to try to keep it as structured as possible. Okay, so here you can see I'm mixing it more to try to get those clumps out. I added a little bit more paint because I knew I was going to use a lot to give you guys a demonstration. So I added more of the cobalt blue and the ultramarine blue. And then I added a little bit more water also to mix it all together. So you'll see that here for the next couple of seconds. Okay, so here you can see it's breaking up more. This process can take time. You just really want to get the consistency you want. I added a little bit more water because I was so close to the desired flow of the paint. So you can see I'm still mixing it, and I hold the stick up and let the paint flow off just to see how well it flows. Here you can see it's almost there, still a little clumpy. So I'm going to continue mixing it until I get the desired flow I want. And this could take a little minute. You just keep adding water or paint. If you feel like it's too loose, just add more paint. If you feel like it's too thick, just add a little bit more water. Since it took me a little while to get the consistency I wanted with that one, I'm just going to move on and show you the next color that I mixed up close to try to give you a better visual of how I mixed the paint. Since I'm just using this thick paint by itself, I just wanted to make sure that I added plenty of water. So my goal here is to try to get each paint the same consistency so it doesn't mix together while I do these different types of pours. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of water. Well, more water than I did to the last one because this paint is thicker. And then I'm just gonna mix that together. It's still a little thick, so I'm just adding a little bit more water and I'm gonna mix it together. And here I'll show you up close how it looks. And this is the flow you want to see when picking up your stick or whatever you use to mix your paint. Now I'm going in with the pure gold and the antique gold, and I'm just going to show you guys how I mix that also. I use the same methods as before. Add paint and then add water, and make sure that if it's too thick, add more water, and if it's too loose, add more paint. And here you'll see I add water, just a little bit of water, into the paint bottle, and put the top back on and make sure I shake it well to get the rest of the paint out. You can do this if you want. It's totally optional. You don't have to, but I like to get my money's worth. So I just pour all of that into the cup. So instead of using two blues, I decided to just take the Calypso Sky and white, mix them together and make this nice soft blue for the cup pour. Okay, so here's my setup, and to demonstrate, I'm using 3 11 by 14 canvases and 2 12 by 16 canvases. Alrighty, for the regular cup pour, I am just going in with black and making my base layer. And all you have to do is pour your paint right on top of each other. So some people paint it in a circle, some people just make lines across the canvas with it. It's very simple to do. And all you have to do is continue pouring the paint onto the canvas straight from the cups in the desired form or style you want. Okay, so now I go back in with my base color and go around the paint that I've already placed from the cups to make sure that the paint spreads all over the canvas. Once this is done, you can now start tilting. So tilting involves tilting your canvas in many different directions to make sure that the paint flows and touches every corner. You can do this in the desired direction you want. Anyway, just make sure that all the paint is spread all over the canvas. Also, when you're tilting, you want to make sure that you get those sides, all the edges. You could tilt it to where the paint runs off. That's the best part, so it'll look like it's a continuous painting all the way around the canvas. So as you can see right here, I'm letting the paint flow off the canvas and then tilting it in the other direction, making sure that all the paint touches each corner, all the sides, and is evenly spread throughout the canvas. So here is the final result for the original cup pour. Cut the cup. So now I'm going to show you how to cut the cup for the open cup pour. Okay, so all you have to do is bend the cup a little, squeeze the cup together, cut about 1/3 way closer to the opening of the cup, and that should be the perfect size for your open cup pour. Okay, so now going into the open cup pour, I pour my base color of black. I want to make sure it's thick enough, so when I do place the open cup, that the paint is able to flow underneath. I'll explain what I mean by underneath shortly. So right here, I'm just spreading the paint out evenly. I placed my open cup and then I go back in with a little bit more of the base color. So I just poured more of the base color in. Now I'm gonna start pouring in white, and I hold it up so that the paint can flow underneath that black. And as you can see, that white went underneath the black, and now I'm going in with the more turquoise blue. I make sure I have it a distance up, and I just make sure that that paint is being pushed underneath the cup, but the black is still on top. Gravity makes the cup push the paint out and flow underneath the black, and as I keep going, you'll see more of that. So I'm going to take my gold, hold it up a certain length, and the more paint I add, the more the colors will be pushed, and the cup will start moving. You can tell the cup will start moving, and the paint expands. So I just go in with the blue, hold it up a certain length, and you will start to see the cup actually moving and the paint coming out from underneath. So it'll start seeping through the black. And now, as you can see on the sides, the colors are starting to pop out from under the black. Okay, so now you can see the colors come out more and more. I'm just gonna move the cup a little so I can get it to flow more upward. And when you pick up your cup, make sure you do not lift it all the way up. You still want it touching the paint of your canvas, but I love the way these colors are popping out from underneath the black once you pour more and more paint. Since this is just a demonstration, I'm now gonna turn and move my cup upward, slightly lifting it just a little, but I want to make sure that black is still on top. And as you can see, I'm going slowly, taking my time to make sure I don't rush the process. And voila, I picked the cup up fully but slowly, and now it's time to tilt. Okay, so for the dirty cup pour, all you have to do is pour your colors inside one individual cup. As you're pouring, you want to make sure that the paint flows on top of each other from the side of the cup. And as you'll see, The paint at the bottom will end up spreading on top of each other. Throughout this video, you'll see also my white was a little too liquidy, so everything wasn't the same consistency, so the paint ended up going underneath, like sinking underneath each other. But it is totally fine. That happens sometimes. It'll still turn out good. So in the same way I poured the paint inside the cup, I'm going to use that same side to pour the paint out of the cup. And I'm going to take my time and slowly pour the paint onto the canvas. I put my base color is white, but as you can see, the paint will reach different colors. And the slower you go, the better it'll turn out. As you can see, it kind of makes this wave look, or like a raindrop puddle look. Now that I'm done pouring, it is time to tilt the canvas. So with this, you want to tilt slowly. Like I said before, you can tilt it in the desired direction you would like. So my goal is to try to keep the lines as much as possible. I really like this cup pour because it reminds me of like tiger stripes. Okay, for this technique, we use similar techniques like the dirty cup pour, but for this cup pour, you don't have to have it float on the side of the cup any specific way. You just pour the paint on top of each other from a distance and let them sort of blend together, but not really. Like I said earlier, my white was really liquidy, so it made it more clouded than what it was supposed to be. But continue watching and enjoy. Now that I'm done with that, I'm going in with my base color as white. Trying to do these cup pours, I accidentally got paint from the previous cup pour in the white, so it kind of looks messy. But anyways, now I'm just going to quickly flip the cup on top of my base color, and then I'm just going to let the cup sit for a minute or so to make sure that all the paint went out of the cup and into that middle spot where I have my base color. And then I'm going to take black and go around that outer side of the cup where the base color white is, to make sure when I pick the cup up it still has the ability to flow all over the canvas. Now I'm just taking my finger and busting those air bubbles, those big old air bubbles in the paint. But now all you have to do is tilt your canvas in whichever direction you want. I go in a circle to try to spread out the cells that form and to make sure that the stuff in the middle stayed in place but just became bigger. Okay, so here I'm going to do lighter colors on the right side and darker colors on the left side. I decided to do this to kind of let you guys see like how the paint flows together. It kind of looks like a dirty cup pour,
but it's 2 cups at once. But you still use the same technique as the dirty cup pour. So you want to try to pour the paint alongside the cup on top of each other. Okay, so now my 2 cups are ready to go. What you want to do is slowly pour your cups together at the same time. This allows for the colors to be conjoined and make this spiral circle half and half. So this is why I did the lighter colors on the right side and the darker colors on the left side. So here I'm going to show you how I do it. I start to pour a little, bring it together as close as possible. And now I'm gonna show you what it looks like. And I'm gonna do this technique different times all over the canvas. And then I'm going to use 1 cup at a time and just fill in the spots. And here is the look. Now I'm just gonna be tilting slowly and going in circles to try to make those swirls big. Sometimes I just pour all over the canvas so I won't have to tilt, or I'll just tilt a little bit. But this time I let a lot of the paint run off just because I wanted to leave a certain effect. So here you can see me just letting the paint run off.